1140 The Fan.
Talkin Money!
And we're back to Talkin Money. And here's Chef Tarbell.
Right. How you doing? We are not in the middle of a beehive. We're in the middle of Hangtown, the 44th annual Hangtown Motocross event. I tell you what, during the break there, we made a decision. We're just going to keep this to 1 hour today. I don't think we can find a spot that's going to get us in a spot where we can hear ourselves either. So we'll do a 1 hour show like the old days, and we'll be back to a normal 2 hours next week. So apologize for that. Maybe next year we'll bring out like a portable spa or something. One of those, I don't know. We'll sit in my car and talk.
Sit in the car.
We'll get the video feed and sit down there in the bar at the sports bar and do that as well. So we did get a winner to our quiz question, and so the question was someone spent $2.3 million for a painted lady. I'm guessing that wasn't down there in Rancho Cordova along the highway, along the 80 side in the warehouse building. So what was the painted lady?
She's a house.
She's a house.
San Francisco.
Oh yeah, that strip.
All painted
okay.
up.
I did not know that they referred to that strip as the painted ladies, but I have seen that picture. You see, they're kind of going up the hill. They're all different colors. So those are the painted ladies. Okay. So $2.3 million for a painted lady. It's a pretty good size. That's a pretty cool looking house. How big? What do you get for $2.3 million? Flip it over to the bottom there. Let's see. What are the details of our lady here? I said she's a big girl, so she's not that big.
Not that big.
2,500 square foot Queen Anne Victorian. 5 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. The previous buyers. Here you go. Previous owners paid. How much did the previous? They bought it in '93. What do you think they paid for the painted lady?
$1 million.
$575. So that's a fairly good markup. There goes our newspaper. That's a fairly good markup for the painted lady. So they must have put a little bit of paint into her as well. So there you go. And we did get a winner of that. And these are our prizes today. You can have, if you'd like, a Hellwood gift certificate to the Hellwood Winery up in Amador County. Awesome place to go. Got some Gym Boys, got some IMAX, and got some River Cats, too, if you want to catch a River Cats game. And I am under the impression, did anybody else hear this, that Manny Ramirez is playing Friday? Chris, did you hear that? And we forgot Chris's opening monologue today. He's got to be burning at this thing.
That's why he's mad.
That's because it's an attitude. Hey, Chris, I'm going to give you the whole second hour. You can do your monologue the whole second hour if you want there, in peace and quiet. But I did hear that.
That's okay, Chris? Jeff. I'm good with that.
Okay. Hey, Chris, did I hear right that Manny Ramirez might be playing the River Cats this week?
He'll be playing 10 games for the River Cats, and then after that, they'll see if they want to bring him out to the big time.
Nice. And do we know when that'll be? Because we have River Cats tickets. Maybe we got to knock out a few River Cats tickets before. Is he playing this week? Do you know?
I think it's coming up pretty soon, so it's either this week or next week.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do, because there's not going to be any second hour of the show today. I will give away. Chris will take the first 4 callers that can name Manny Ramirez's former team, and I don't even know the answer to that. So Chris does. So he's on the A's now. The first 4 that can name Man Ram's former team, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You can text us at 44-1140. Chris will give you a pair of tickets to River Cats, and maybe you can catch Manny Ramirez at the
awesome.
At the river. There he is. So we'll do this. I want to get into one more section. We're going to get Darren Riles is showing up. So Darren is a professional skier. We'll talk to Darren a little bit too after our break. We have one more break, Chris, or not? We have one more break. Okay. So I want to bring up this one section, then we'll take a break, and we'll get in Darren here as our one of our professional motocross riders and skiers. We'll get him in during the break too. So I did want to just kind of finish on this topic, which was the difference between the Golden State and the Garden State. And we were talking about Chris Christie and Governor Brown. And the difference is because they both came in with a very similar problem. They were about Chris Christie was about $10 billion short. And it's interesting that all the same things that were presented to him as options, which were, we should have a millionaire's tax. And in New Jersey, they had a little different deal here because in New Jersey had a Democratic legislator but a Republican governor. So he vetoed the millionaire's tax. And he went to the legislature and said, hey, look into the unions and said, we're going to have to cut some money out of here. And they agreed with him. So it's funny, a lot of the same things that we're having trouble with here, he was able to accomplish there and get handled. And now he's in a position where they can actually cut state taxes in New Jersey right now. So they came across very similar paths. A lot of the same options were thrown at him. He rejected them or was able to work with them. And New Jersey is on the path to cutting taxes. And we're discussing a millionaire's tax. So a lot of different things we can, lessons we can take from there. I don't know what we're going to do here in this state until we get to a total panic mode or we have to totally close down. I don't know how we fight that. I don't know what the rule's going to be. So it's a little bit frustrating. I mentioned there, I'll do some of this now and then we'll take another quick break. I mentioned before the break there, if you want to run or be the CEO for one of the biggest companies around, any of them, a few things you don't want to do. I mentioned these earlier in the week too. A few things you don't want to do. Number one, if you're going to have a girlfriend and you're married, that's your choice. I'm not judging you. It happens. Don't hire your girlfriend to work for you, to work for your buddy. This has come down.
Take her on motorcycle rides.
Take her on motorcycle. Well, he was a coach, so I guess if you're a coach, you can do that. But there has been numbers of reports that so Best Buy, the chairman of Best Buy now has had to step down. And he stepped down over rumors that he hired a subordinate that may have been of the female persuasion and may not have been known to everybody who she was. So those are issues that keep coming up. And the other one that seems to be throwing people out this week is people are lying on their resumes and their job qualifications, and they're just making stuff up. You know, I attended Harvard. That's how I got the radio job, by the way. I attended Harvard. You know, I went here, and so these are the CEOs that have been out this week for various reasons. AOL, we just talked about AOL. I didn't know they even had a CEO anymore. Scott Thompson resigned over a padded resume. Best Buy chairman Richard Schulze left because his judgment was questioned. Wink, wink. Citigroup rejected a big package from their CEO. Avon fired their CEO, or was replaced in April after high-profile issues. And this other guy, and here's the last one you don't want to do. If you work for a company that sucks, tweeting that my company sucks and you're the CEO might not keep you employed. The fashion retailer Francesca's Holdings, I think you have all their gear, don't you?
Absolutely.
The full Francesca gear. So Gene Morphus, who was the CEO there, CFO, they didn't like his tweets, and he was tweeting about how the board doesn't like him and how he's going to boring meetings, and you're making a lot of money.
Why do people do that? I just don't understand. That kind of money, and you're going to do crazy, simple...
I don't know.
I was going to use the D word. He's not so bright.
Yeah, he's a D. Yeah, he's a dummy.
Yeah.
So, hey, Chris, let's take one more quick break for you. I want to get one interview in here before the show is over today, and we'll jump in and get our microphone working here and get Darren Rowles in if we can do that. Chris, are you all right with that? Okay, we got another quiz question, John, there?
We do.
Now, Texas has always been the number one oil exporter forever, and they still are, but number two has recently swapped. Who is the number two oil producer in the United States? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You can text us at 44-1140. Who is the number two oil producer in the U.S.? This is Talkin Money. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.